So here we go. It's Jets versus Giants, joint practice one. And man, we had a bit of a day today. We had a couple of injury scares. Our offense definitely started off slow. Our defense started off slow. And then a surprise trade request. So again, just one of those days, right? Being a Jets fan. So we're gonna go ahead and talk about it. Let's go. Okay, here we go. So here we go. We had our first joint practice with the New York Giants. I think the last time we did this was like 2005. I'm pretty sure most of us already know. Huge brawl that occurred that particular time frame. I think Jeremy Shockey was a part of that joint practice, and it just got violent. Got really violent. Got real assault like, and we haven't done it since. So it was kind of cool seeing that Coach Sala and Coach Sable talking about like what they're expecting from individuals. You know what I'm saying? Like what they were expecting from their team, right? They didn't want them to go ahead and fight one another. They wanted to make it something they're playing each other as teammates. So it's good to know that the coaches kind of set the precedent ahead of time so it wouldn't be an issue. So let's talk about it. So at the end of the day, the starting offense looked a little bit sluggish today, right? Joe Flacco did wind up throwing two touchdown passes, one to Garrett Wilson, and I want to say one to Corey Davis. Garrett Wilson was possibly the highlight of the entire day. Um, but ultimately, there wasn't much else happening, saying other than that. The defense was a little bit on the sluggish side. They were able to allow Daniel Jones to look like a Pro Bowl quarterback. Daniel Jones I think he went perfect on the day. He had an incompletion, but I think that incompletion came after an offsides penalty negated the pass that he threw because he didn't actually complete it. So it was an interception on the back end of the practice the day, but I think Bryce Hall was the one that picked that one up. But ultimately, one of those days where it was kind of like I guess you can say an even balance of, I don't know, good and bad. We did score on offense. The defense had the one interception, but overall, not really one of those where we can sit back and say, man, the Jets just straight dominated. It was more of an even kill aspect or approach today when it came to the joint practice. Kind of concerning to me a little bit because I don't believe that the Giants right now are very talented. They lost some very, very important players. Kayvon Thibodeau wasn't there today, and they were still able to go ahead and create some pressure and frustration on Joe Flacco. Um, they also lost a wide receiver to an Achilles injury, and he was having I think it was, I forget his name right now. We're just having a very promising training camp, and then they of course lost him. So I don't know. I'm a little concerned about it because I think the secondary should have had an easier day today. Daniel Jones looking the way he did, a little bit concerning, but it's just training camp. It's the joint practices. I'm not going to go ahead and take it for anything like that. So we did see a Dwayne Brown sighting. He's continuing to go ahead and ramp up towards actually get some playtime. Robert Saleh did state that he would be getting some game time on Sunday, so I'm kind of excited to kind of see Dwayne Brown in the fold as that offensive line continues to gel and mesh with one another. I mean, this is it. Last preseason game of the season before our guys actually go live, you know what I'm saying, in about 2.5 weeks. I can't wait to be there. It's going to be exciting. So to see Dwayne Brown getting those reps, I think is invaluable. Uh, yeah, I mean, ultimately, not really much to report today, right? We did have a couple of injury scares. So, Jermaine Johnson and DJ Reed, both of those guys kind of went down for a moment. They had to be pulled aside and evaluated by the training staff. I believe one was an ankle concern, one was a knee concern, a right knee concern. And there was some concern. I was worried. It freaked me out. Like everything in my body tensed up because, again, the most important thing about these joint practices is that we come out unscathed, right? Or as healthy as possible. Right now, I'm only focused on September 11th playing Baltimore. And to have our arsenal of weapons healthy and ready to go is so important to me, to you as a Jets fan, to the organization. So I am a little bit concerned and a little bit worried about injuries throughout these practices. But the good news is both Jermaine Johnson and DJ Reed did come back and they were able to participate in practice and finish out the day. So although those injuries kind of like scared us a little bit, nothing too crazy. Sheldon Rankins was seen on the sideline on a bike, the stationary bike. I think that was more along the lines of just him, you know what I'm saying, a veteran's day off, right? Not that it really matters. Hopefully Sheldon Rankins isn't on this roster, when it comes down to the 53-man cut. And Zach Wilson, you know what I'm saying? Seen walking around, he's starting to go ahead and show some progression. We've been seeing him quite a bit in the cart, but this time around, he was kind of walking around. And good news is that he's actually starting to do some rehab on that knee. He's able to get some motion, some rain of motion, levels of motion, one or the other, right? He's able to go ahead and move that knee, right? And he's going to be starting to do some team drills next week. Not full 11 on 11, something like that, but able to throw the ball around a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Get some of those drills going on the sideline while the team is practicing. So that's like very very like you know what I'm saying like that's great to hear. That's really comforting because it means that he's progressing along nicely and that 2 to 4 week window, you know what I'm saying, is legitimately becoming the number that they're talking about. Now, Coach Sala did state something about like, hey, listen, we'll see how everything goes on week one. We'll decide who's going to be the starting quarterback then. Stop it. I don't think we start Zach Wilson week one. I think it makes more sense for the organization to protect him and give him that extra week. I think Joe Flacco was more than capable of making this offense run for us to have a shot and be competitive in that game. And I don't think we need to rush Zach Wilson back by any means. Once he gets back, we want him to be 100% comfortable. We don't want him thinking about the knee while he's out there trying to execute the offense. Let that man rest up. Don't rush him back. Let him go ahead and ease his way back into the rotation, into the fold. Protect him from himself because you know Zach's gonna want to play no matter what. So that was exciting to go ahead and see as well. On another note, we have a trade request today. So today, Denzel Mims' agent put out this statement. And I mean, in all actuality, we all kind of knew it was coming. You know, when Denzel Mims did the press conference talking about that he was a starter in this league and on this offense, et cetera, et cetera, we all kind of knew like he had an uphill battle. And as good as he's looked in training camp, you know, he still suffers from the dropsies. He still causes penalties. You can tell that he's still not 100% in tune with the offense the way like Braxton Berrios, you know what I'm saying, Corey Davis is, right? Like, I'm not going to bring up, you know, Garrett Wilson or Elijah Moore because he's not on those guys' level. And dare I say it, like as I saw the agent put out that statement, I was a little bit frustrated because I was just like, man, so the agent even acknowledges that, you know, Joe Douglas has done right by Denzel Mims. And yet, Denzel Mims wants to request a trade. I think this is going to ultimately hurt him. And the Jets are by no means have to go ahead and trade him or listen to him or whatever the case might be. You're under contract. You know, you're a third year rookie that really hasn't done much to warrant, you know what I'm saying, a high trade value. There might be some interest. There's a lot of teams right now that are hurting. I think the Giants are actually one of those teams that could potentially be interested, even the freaking Falcons. But I don't believe we have to oblige Denzel Mims' request. And ultimately, look, I like the kid. You know what I'm saying? I really do believe he has all the talent in the world. I do think the game's a little bit faster for him. His mentality is just not up to par. Maybe this offense is too complicated for Denzel, and he knows it, which is why he's requesting this trade. He's trying to get to something that's a little bit easier for him to comprehend. Maybe that's the case. I don't know. I don't know him. I don't know what's in his head. But I do believe that in him leaving the Jets, who invested, you know, a high draft pick in him, who've given him an opportunity to kind of bounce back from the horrible season he had last year, and even as he continues to have a lot of mental lapses, they're still putting effort and energy to go ahead and give him opportunities. No, he's not a starter on this roster. We're in a good position as Jets fans to be able to say he's not a starter on offense. He's not. He's just not. We've got way better skill set players at the wide receiver position. Denzel Mims just can't compete. He's at best our wide receiver 5, wide receiver 6. I would dare to say that, you know what I'm saying, Tariq Black, Calvin Jackson have shown us more than he has, right, during training camp. So it is what it is. So Denzel Mims has officially requested a trade out of the organization. He wants to leave One Jets Drive. Where he goes, if he goes, we don't know. But I won't leave. I won't put it past Joe Douglas that if he does trade Denzel Mims, it's going to be in terms of value that makes sense for the Jets. Even though by the agent putting that statement out there, he devalued actually the wide receiver. Should have been one of those things that they discussed like internally to let Joe Douglas know like he wants to be traded. Could have allowed him to get more back and probably appease Denzel Mims more so as to a location of his preference. I know right now the Cowboys could use some receiver help as well. So there's options for somebody at Denzel Mims being from Texas. It might be an option for him. So ultimately, that's training camp day. I think this day was day 20, if I'm not mistaken. But first Jets versus Giants joint practice, or Giants versus Jets joint practice. That's the news for the day. Not a lot of exciting news, and even the Denzel Mims trade request. Not really exciting, but it's news. Wanted to share that with you guys. So again, if you appreciate this content, you appreciate the effort, don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm going to be out of town for the next couple of days, so some content might be coming out a little bit slower than before. I might not get anything back up on YouTube until Sunday. I'm trying to work that out, kind of figure that out. But yeah, I can't wait for the season to get here. Like, I'm really excited about it. I know you're excited about it, and hopefully we have a better, I guess, practice against the Giants here. I believe it's tomorrow or Saturday. I think it's tomorrow. We'll have a practice against them again, and then it's off on Saturday, and then we of course play on Sunday. But yeah, that's all I got for you guys today, and that's your New York Jets situation report update or slash debrief. Again, like and subscribe, and yeah, go Jets.